going to be talking to you about the things that I have learned while homeschooling. All right, so the number one thing that I have learned while homeschooling, or one of the things that I've learned homeschooling, is that it is not a competition. One of these lovely ladies that I met during my beginning years, my first few years of homeschooling, she was very instrumental in helping guide me and breaking down some stuff that I had, my own insecurities, okay, that I had while I was homeschooling. All right, so one of the things that she was so amazing, one day I was talking to my children. We had this other child that we were playing with, and we were learning a few subjects with, and she was with us, and her and her son were with us, and they were also just coming alongside of us and learning with us. And she said to me, I was telling the children, come on guys, you better, shape up, get yourself focused, because your friends are in school, they're learning right now, and you guys aren't, you're going to be left behind, blah, blah, blah. And I was going on, and I was freaking out because I felt like my children didn't want to learn. And I was freaking out because I thought maybe I made a bad choice. And she called me later on. She said, Miriam, I just wanted to share with you that, I heard you earlier today telling your children that they're not getting what they need, or they're going to be left behind. And I just want to share with you that you're an amazing mother, and your children are getting some things that cannot be touched, that cannot be measured, because they're... Hey guys, okay, the second thing that I learned since I've been on my homeschool journey is that you cannot just go ahead and take school and plop it in your home. That is not going to work, because you really need to make sure that you are making your home a comfortable place, right? You're not going to, well, some people do, but you're not going to go buy desks and get a chalkboard. And that is just not realistic. You want your home to be a comfortable place to have natural learning and to have experiences that are pretty amazing for learning and creating a comfortable place to learn. That is the number two thing. I went out, bought boards and erased dry erase markers, and I wanted the children seated, and I wanted them to, raise their hand. That was crazy. I want, after doing and failing at getting I should say, we were failing forward, right? So we were failing at some things and changing things up until we have come to an idea of the way things kind of work for us. I don't think anything ever works 100%, but I stopped trying to plop school in my home. So we do things, we learn, we read together, we ask questions. I let them ask questions. Sometimes when we need to focus, I'll be like, wait, you know what? I want us to focus here so that we don't get off on a tangent, and we can get certain things done, and then we can come back to it. So I try to keep things easy, and I do not want us to take school and put it in our home. I want us to learn how to learn in our environment and to make it exciting. So that's the number two thing. Don't take school and plop it in your home. Okay, so the number three thing that I learned since we've been homeschooling is that you do not need a lot of curriculums. We bought, little pieces of different curriculums, which is fine, but you can make it even more simple. What we did is we began to use classical conversations, and I realized that there were so many things that I could have done differently to make our home learning journey very, very simple. And I really love classical conversations because it is fairly simple in the early years. When you get to challenge, it's a little bit more difficult and a little bit more engaged. But in the beginning, foundations from pre-K, from 4 years old up until 10 or 11, it is fairly simple. You're doing about 3 hours of learning a day until you get to challenge, and then it's just like kicks it up like 50 million notches. So you don't need a lot of curriculums. You can get it done, and you can make it really simple. What the best thing to do if you're doing kind of like eclectic learning, just read a lot. Do a lot of reading. Read novels, read, short stories, read poems, read history, read from different types of books. Make it interesting and just read a whole lot. And then you can get like a math workbook for the math and have a lot of discussion, have lots of conversation. And then, you can streamline things in. What you can do is you can find something that your children are interested in and make a whole curriculum. Tie everything into that one thing. You can tie English, language arts, so like, pulling sentence apart, looking for different parts of speech. You can use the math that goes along with whatever it is that you're learning. It is pretty amazing. You can do a lot of things and it's not that difficult. Don't make it difficult. Find something very simple that you can use and make it fun. As long as you keep it fun, your children are going to keep learning and it's going to be amazing. The fourth thing that I've learned on my journey is that emotions are okay. They're going to happen. You're going to have big emotions and it's going to be pretty sticky, especially in the beginning if you're taking your children out of school. It is going to be difficult, but you're going to be okay and they're going to be okay. And you guys are just going to learn how to maneuver and make it through. And the one thing that I can really share with you is that when you're working through all of the emotional upsets that happen when your children and you are getting adjusted to being together all the time, is that you're learning and teaching your child how to walk through their emotions, and you're doing it in an amazing way, in a way that a mother or father can help assist their child. And then you also will become better because of it, because then you will learn how to also walk through your emotions with your children, and they will see you develop and grow and become better. That is okay. You're going to have big emotions and it's okay. You can walk through it and be better because of it, and your children are going to learn so much for it. So that's number 4. The number 5th thing that the number 5, the number 5th thing, whatever, that I learned is that it is really important to find other homeschoolers. Finding other homeschoolers is really, really crucial, especially because although homeschooling is becoming a lot more popular and people are doing a lot more, I found that once I found some homeschoolers that could really help support me, it really kicked my game up, and it really gave me some confidence and some courage to stand when everybody was telling me that I should probably reconsider what I was doing with my children, and maybe I should consider putting them back in school. It was really a benefit and a help to me to have other homeschoolers that I can call and that could help me walk through some of the difficulties, and really to share with me that they're also experiencing some issues too, and that it's just part of the journey, that dealing with your child and having, days when they just don't want to do their work and days when you just don't want to do the work with them, it's all part of the journey. And that as long as you're just teaching them to love each other and helping them and loving them, it's all going to be good. So that's the number 5, the fifth thing that I learned. Okay, so the 6th thing I learned during my homeschool journey is do not call people up that do not believe in the homeschooling journey to tell them about your very bad day. I'm going to tell you how this conversation will go. Hey, Jane, I had the worst day. My children were screaming and everything was crazy, and I didn't even get a chance to make dinner, and I'm just so upset, and whatever. My children were just driving me absolutely insane. I couldn't get it right today. And then Jane is going to say, Miriam, I know you are doing something that I can't even imagine. It's so hard. I don't even know how you do it. Be with your children all day long. And on they will go. Maybe you should, consider putting your children back in school, because they shouldn't be learning from you anyways, because you're really not a teacher. And the best place for a child to learn is in school with a teacher that they don't know. Or you can call your friend that is also a homeschooler, and it could go something like this. Hey, Latoya, I've had the worst day, and I'm ready to put these children back in school. And Latoya will tell you, which is my friend, she will say, Miriam, it's okay. You might not have gotten through all the things you wanted to accomplish today, but it's going to be okay. Your children were with you. They were loved today, even through all the upset, and they were able to work through some of their emotions, and they're going to be fine. Tomorrow is a new day, and it will be fine. And that is very encouraging, especially when you want to do something, and to have somebody have your back and to push you and encourage you in a positive way. And then you're like, you know what? You're right. I just had a bad day. It's not a bad, every single day it's not terrible. It was just a bad moment. It was just a bad day. Teachers have bad days. And I remember when my child was in school, there were students that would disrupt the class. And I'm like, how much stuff did they get done? If they were dealing with this one student, and they had to get another person in the class to take over, like, they didn't get anything done today. What could they have possibly gotten done? And sometimes that's how our days go. It is all good. You're going to have those days. Those days will come, and they will go. And you're going to have those days where you're like, oh my gosh, I was super bomb. I am the bomb.com, right? You're going to have those days too. It's all good. You are a superstar. And I'm going to give you a bonus. What's my bonus? My bonus is that your children are not the number one part of your homeschool. As a matter of fact, you are the number one part of your homeschool, because your children need to learn, but you are the number one person that needs to be learning. My very beautiful friend that shared with me all these things, all these little nuggets of wisdom, she really poured into me one day and told me, forget about those children. As long as you're learning, they'll be fine. And that is what I have really learned. I am learning, I am growing, and my children are too. Because I'm so excited, because things are kind of gelling for me and coming to me, and I'm like, oh my gosh, and things are making sense, and I'm learning different things, and we're reading this book and we're reading that book, and it's like, oh wow, didn't you see how these two things are correlating with each other? And do you see this? And it makes it really exciting, as opposed to me just reading on a piece of paper information, facts that they should know, and then them regurgitating it to me, which is some of what happens. But when I am also learning with them, I can point things out to them and make light bulbs, help them switch and turn on some light bulbs for them, which makes it really pretty awesome. So that, in a nutshell, is the things that I have learned so far on my homeschool journey that have really stuck out to me. That is not any strategic thing. It is really helpful to know these things are very simple and they're okay. Like, you're going to be fine. So if you are thinking about homeschooling, if you are thinking that this is something that you want to do and you're feeling scared, it's okay. You will get through this. You can even send me an email and I will help you. I will talk with you. I will send you some words of encouragement. Subscribe here. I'm going to continue to pour out encouraging things, especially about homeschooling, because I know us homeschool mamas and mamas that teach after school really need it sometimes. I want to encourage you to keep going. Peace and God bless.